This camera just turns off by itself. Look at the leaf floating in the rivers. Watch the current go. Wow. Oh. The kingfisher over there still. This is pretty much going to be the place I went today. This is going to be the place. This is my day right here. This is it. I'm recognizing this sacred moment. This is the high point of my day. You see that? That was my heart resting, breathing in my entire life. In every breath of my heart, I estimate what it is worth to me to complain versus how much better I might feel if I just don't have anything to complain about. I'm not quite sure. I tell you people, I'm a very, very smart man. I'm not quite sure where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to complain about, what I'm supposed to accept, and what I'm not supposed to. I really don't know. If it came down to the logistics of how do I make peace with myself, my family, or the world, I wouldn't have the first clue where to start. I don't know what I should be mad about or shouldn't be mad about. What if a great spaceship was going to go by and collect all of our pain and then make sure that everything was set to right? Right? What would you send? Would you be like, oh, it's okay, Mr. Spaceship. That's all right. Because, you don't know what they're going to do with that shit. They're going to take all your pain. Next thing you know, like, people are just, like, disappearing. You don't mind because, they fucked with you. But it's like, you're not sure you want them to be probed for eternity. This idea of your enemies going to hell. Like, I wouldn't want my enemy to go to hell. That would mean that people could send me to hell. I could be someone's enemy, and they might, I'm perfectly capable of saying, I think I'm a really nice person, but I think there are people who would be happy if I was run over by a train. Right? Do you hear that? Even the blue jay agrees. And I don't like that thought. But people do war with us, don't they? Before you know it, things do war with us. And now maybe that's shock talking. I did talk about shock. Like, that could be shock talking. It's like to think of the scale of shock, or to measure shock, or to comprehend how any number of shocks might have changed your life is very difficult. In how we talk about it can take us into a very provocative state of mind. Say, hey, I could get a million shocked people together and say, this world has gone to war with you. It's the one that started the war. It drew you into the war. You're just bringing the war back to them. Now let's go. And how many people would believe that? I couldn't, but people could stir people to war. Maybe they could get you to want to ethnically cleanse your neighborhood. Aren't you sick of all those pains you have, everyone? Haven't you noticed this all started when those people started moving into our neighborhoods? What an awful thought. And maybe you don't, but maybe like 2, 3, 5 out of 10 people around you, your neighbors, white people, start to believe it. How would you feel about that? That would be shocking, wouldn't it? Think about the wars and the cleansings of the world. Think about the native people where you live, if you live on Turtle Island or many other great native, Gaelic, Druidic, primitive, highly skilled, thriving, joyful, strong people have lived on all the continents of this earth. Who or what was their enemy? Hey? And that's what you're supposed to be scared of. That's Machiavelli. When they colonize places, the colonizing race, that, like, basically the white people, they're meant to be warded off by the prospect of being as strong as the original people are and having such and such a thing done to them. And rationalized the way white people can. White people don't want to ever have to face white people. So they're really glad they're white. I pity the fool who's in white, If you take a wonderful white Christian businessman, it's like, oh yeah, the Indians, I'm very sensitive to them. It's like, how'd you like to go back to the 14th or 15th century in the American continent and be a native man, riding up to a group of soldiers with a white flag and a American flag and a writ signed by the government of the time or whatever. It's the 18th century and 17th or 18th century, and then getting your anus gored out and your wife's womb cut out with the child and her breasts cut off and children put on stakes and tied to trees with barbed wire, and the complete dehumanization and just torturous physical mutilation of you and your people. Send white people back in a time machine. You're like, okay, now when you've got that piss pooling in your underpants, your testicles are tucked right back into your ass, and you're saying, please leave me alone, and screaming at the top of your lungs. Okay? And all of a sudden all your costumes and all your fucking, your suburban neighborhoods are taken away from you. And I'm not trying to make people feel scared. I'm trying to show you what white people did. That's what we did. Do you understand? That's why our families suffer. That's why those of us who suffer most, we come out here. We bring our pitiful asses out here. Those of us whose families basically died off, and I'm just starting to relearn how to live on this earth. And if I have any children, it'll basically all have to come through me. I have nothing to rely upon from the people who've come before me. In many, if not all respects. A lot of it is up to me. If this is merely a story I tell myself, a vainglorious delusion, an epic of a fraction of an education, never got anywhere, and too much time on my hands. And all these things I faced day after day after day in every epoch of my life since I was 16 years old. College. Work, more college. More walking around. I loved walking to school. I loved walking to college. I started taking the bus some days, but there's people on the bus who ruin it. I start to realize that there's people that I just instantly don't like. There's something about them. I can't put my finger on it. I think now it would probably be at least codependency. I'll never claim to be the most self-reliant person in the world. But I will say that a lot of people, a lot of us, have an extraordinary capacity for self-reliance. Day to day, I don't inherit very directly a lot of positive things about living on the earth. And the troubles that I take reading that part of the Bible today before wiping my ass with it, quite satisfying actually, talking about, this person is a person of the earth. It is better that if he doth not live. This man who is of the earth, who is of the earth, it is better that he does not live. I mean, these creepy little lines in the Bible. Honing in on this hatred of the Son and the hatred of the Father. So my father sort of hated me, and my hated in his turn. And that's basically what things became. The hateful things. I could talk about the loving things, but when you spend the last few years of your life that is around your father at all, my dad doesn't really mind that I'm angry at him. My dad committed one of the greatest cons of my life. He convinced himself that he liked me. And while it might be a simple, almost comical thing, I don't think he ever did. I learned in a strange and uncanny sort of way when I met a nephew of mine who had a very similar kind of mind to myself, probably a good deal more precocious than I was at that age. And I saw how much my dad detested him from birth. And it was like, it's one of those things, like, if I didn't see it for myself more than once at different ages, like when he was born, my dad said that it was probably he was a bastard child and didn't belong to him. And then years later, he just seemed to like kind of hate his guts. And I thought, if I was 10 years old and my uncle or grandpa treated me like that, I would think something was seriously wrong, you know? And I'm watching my dad treat him. I was like, oh, it was hard. Like, this is my dad, you know? What does that mean for me? I mean, it's weird when you see it. You know, it's like, it confirms something. I mean, sometimes I feel guilty about, you know, things I said to my dad or things I thought about my dad. But he seems like a very deceptive individual, you know, and when you're a very deceptive person, like a con man, even if it's just, you know, padding the edges, and you don't really need to do it so much, but that's what you do, it's part of the person that you are in the world. You don't really have a lot left for anything else. It's like a heroin addiction. You know, when my dad didn't need anything from me, he really didn't need anything from me. You know, the only way my dad was interested in me was when he needed something from me. You know, or I was good for something. Otherwise, he would just like, you were nothing. You know. He tried doing things with me as I got older, even in my 20s. Like, he'd ask me to come along here or do this, and it's like, I'm not sure. I would just be numb around him. I don't think he understood that the way I was around him wasn't because that was the way I was. It was because that's the way he made me feel. He never really clued into that. I mean, if you have a parent who's so incredibly self-centered, it can be a very special world, You know, like, hey, it's the person who does everything and talks to everyone and gets you, hamburgers and pizza and brings fish and chips home. That part of the relationship is great. He can do stuff, go camping, he knows how to tie things on the car. This was it. This was having a father. Watching him do things, never really delegating, just watching him do things with my brother, or watching him do things, watching him drive, watching him do things. So never really showing you anything, just watching him do things. So, and I didn't mind. It's fine. It's comical in a sense, but the extent of my dad's leadership skills was watch me do everything. He couldn't really come down to my level and talk to me. He never really looked me in the eye and talked to me. As I got older, I think I saw a very baleful look in my dad's eyes at times. Like he was looking at a ghost when he looked at me. And I think I reminded him too much of himself when he was my age. And he must have felt so insecure and weak. You have to put on a personality, put on a face, put on a nice suit, and get a job and work and be willing to do anything and put yourself out there. All those things that I would never be able to do. And maybe for good reason, although some would disagree, because it really, I call it like an industrial strain upon the family. Like, if everyone has to be someone, but my father's had to go to such extent to be someone and to work, because working is never just working. It's like, it's who you are, right? You've got to be able to date. You've got to be able to shop. You've got to be able to deal with people. You've got to be able to deal with conflict. You've got to be able to be aggressive. You got to be able to know how to drive. You got to be able to know how to, fill out forms. You got to be able how to sell things and buy things and all these things. But you've got to be able to deal with people. And all of them, they're going to have personalities too. Right? But I think, there wasn't anything there to sweeten the deal for me. And my dad couldn't speak to my level. A lot of people's parents don't. And it doesn't matter maybe. But I think in retrospect it really did. Because when people don't speak to me on the level, I don't do anything. I listen carefully, but I'm just afraid of them. I don't trust them. The terrible part when someone's kind of talking in a biased way is like you can take something from what they're saying. Maybe it doesn't mean they're wrong, but it's like you can't trust where they're coming from. People trust even politicians, because politicians make you feel like, they're really talking to you, that they really care about you, right? It doesn't matter if they do, right? It just matters that you believe they do, right? It's like a suspension of disbelief. It works, right? It's a really positive black magic. And but if you don't trust someone, like the lady I bought my shoes off today, I trusted her. She smelled my stinky feet. We're in a nice part of the world. This is kind of basically where I was headed today. This is homeland for me. This is deer country. Hey, I'm going to start speaking like a redneck now. We're in deer country, boys and girls. I think it was a British redneck. We're in deer country, boys and girls. Welcome to deer country. Welcome around the world in 90 voices. Hoist face, high fall. I'm not funny. I'm not funny. What a strange time of life to discover that. People say, you don't do anything in the woods. I did today. I discovered I wasn't funny. You go to your antidepressant group. It's like, everyone's always looking forward to your story because there's always something grisly and sad. It's like, what about you, Landon? This week, along with being rejected by every woman around me, sine qua non, I found I wasn't funny while I was walking around by myself with no friends, hoping I could go back to my mommy in a couple hours. Yes, Landon. Is there anyone here who'll have sex with me? We told you about that. You can't make requests for sex at the depression group. You save that for coffee time afterwards. Okay, because I got my eye on you, Linda. Any other guys, fuck you. Linda's mine. She looks fucked up enough for me. Linda's feeling very special at that point because she's highly codependent and she's a nepotistic nymphomaniac whose daddy told her. And yet, Linda, your daddy's coming. Coming home to mama. Now, normally I would cross this log, but it looks utterly inhospitable to me. It's the winter crossing, meaning rain and guck, fuck knows what, gets onto this thing. I have to trust that it'll take me to the other side of a very cold, slow-moving river. And to be fair, I'm not into it. And there's probably not much help on the other side either, because that's going to be filled with water as well. So for the first time in many moons, I will pass. And keep walking. Keep walking down this mighty land. Don't be disheartened by the fact that you can't cross a simple log. Cross a simple log. I don't want to hurt myself. Hey, this is actually the log I crossed right here. Thank you, log. I won't cross you today. Oh. I'm not sorry. I'm not funny. I'm not sorry. I'm not happy. I'm not horny. And I'm not good looking anymore. What do I have left? No one's gonna let me sleep in their strata townhouse complex anymore with the hopes that I might fuck them one day. What am I gonna do? Now, Landon, now that's a seriously sad story. What do we say now, everyone? We love you, Landon. Everything's gonna look better tomorrow. Okay, let's sing the song. The sun will come out. Come on, Landon. I don't want to see the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet you. Thank you, everyone. You're my real family. Is it coffee time yet? Yes. Linda, I think you'll be wanting to run out, I suppose. No, I'm going to hang out and see what he has to say. Now, Linda, we told you go for really desperate men who've never had sex before in this case. I mean, really, Linda, almost anyone, even Egbert over there, I can hear you, he would be better. I know, but Egbert, really? I mean, Humperdinck? Egbert, don't listen. But yes, he's a very damaged man. No woman in her right mind would fuck him. But Landon, he's a tasty little niblet. In his prime, he must have been quite a gumshoe. What? Oh, nothing. He's just private dick. Like, all right, look, I'm not sure you should be a group counselor. Oh, I see what this is. You're trying to get territorial control using Landon's beautiful erect penis as leverage. Well, I'm going to beat you to it. Meanwhile, I'm beating off listening to this fantasy. It's like, wow, this is pretty good. I would like to be a source of female conflict. Eventually they'll just kiss and make up. My penis will be waving and they'll say, hey, look it. We could put this to good use. Let's bang it against our beautiful little cheeks and then start nibbling on the end like a boiled egg. Hey, that's my penis you're talking about. Oh, I don't think I'd be very good at sex. I come too quickly. It's weird. I never come to any point too quickly, but I think in sex I would come to the point much too quickly. I'd be like, I wouldn't take a long time to come to the point. Again and again. But I do wish I could come more than once. I wish a man could have like some sort of reboot. And wind it up and then it's like, and it's like recharge. You can just keep ejaculating every 2 or 3 minutes. You get pretty tired though for a while. It's like, I need fluids now. I need fluids. It's a lot of energy comes out of a man's ball sack, you know? Jesus, I mean, it's squirting. It's squirting something. It's like, I mean, it's like a ketchup bottle, you know? It's a little more complicated. I mean, the woman can help, of course. Take a little bit of the load off. Wipe a bit of it away. Maybe even a little smudge she got on her eyebrow. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Don't be. There's a bench down here I might not be able to escape sitting there for a bit. I just want to see the fishermen. Oh, there they are. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here. There's actually better places to sit. Have you had any substantial human contact today, then? If I had a social worker, she'd be like, let's just see. Have you had any significant social contact today? As soon as your social life starts to get analyzed by a social worker, it never looks good. It's like the school counselor. Actually, she was occupational counselor or something. I was doing some stupid test to see what I was good at, and I didn't even bother filling it out. Like, I was usually a pretty good student. I'm sure I just really didn't. I had this automatic shut off for something that really wasn't getting graded and wasn't for any practical use. And she was shocked that I didn't have a lunch. So that was not to be tolerated. So she took me to the cafeteria. The only time I ever went to a school cafeteria, and bought me a bag of chips. So yay for that. That's cool. The stick I threw popped up going in the right direction. That was good. And I think if a social worker or some kind of social specialist were to analyze my daily behavior, maybe one of these naturopath life coach kind of people, I need you to take a notebook and write down all of the kinds of social contact you have this week. Okay. Looked at girl's ass at the drive-thru. How do you look at someone's ass at the drive-thru? Oh, well, you see, when you get to the drive-thru and she turns around to get some milk out of the refrigerator, well, you ever see that movie, The Black Hole? Well, I see why that guy built that massive ship and those deadly robots like Maximilian, and then brought some kind of passengers on board for no reason except to torture them with the madness and the ambition of his fantastical and epic journey to the center of the black hole, while he will almost certainly be devoured. long before he ever gets to the final satisfaction of fully penetrating its depths. Okay, well, I'm going to recommend a few drugs for you, Landon. Oh, I already used most of them. Well, these are some special drugs. Okay, they're from Europe. They haven't been tested over here yet. They disconnect your mouth from your brain. Have you ever seen my brain? Someplace where brains are not supposed to go. That's okay. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Tick, 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 tick. Do you know the main difference between a good brain and a bad brain? Yeah, me neither. I wonder if you could walk from the land of the good brain to the land of the bad brain and then back again. Like you walk through a bad neighborhood and come home. What if everyone did what I did? What interesting videos we'd have. And then you'd get people trying to emulate me. They'd be like Tony from like New York. He'd be like, yeah, so I masturbated in the sewer this morning. I hate women, but I love wanking off to them. Go Landon. I saw the number 7 in the sky the other day. I think life is really going to be better now. Thanks for listening to my sorry life. Everyone, the only person I have left is my mother. I'm going to make you some pizza today and eat it by myself with a bucket of my own tears. I think words and symbols are interesting. Oh. I'm pretending my channel is decent enough to mock. That in itself is quite ambitious. I actually have been mocked. Oh yeah, I've been mocked. I was mocked by 2 different flat earthers. That's great. I actually got a trophy for the most, if I may get this right, the most unpopular critic of the flat earth. Yeah, I love that. I thought one day it would come in handy. I could tell people, but I don't have any friends, so I'm just going to leave it here. I wish I could go to like the land of Landon's friends, and it'd be like a purple robe. It'd be a guest book, and I'd look at the other signatures, and it would say, "Don't look, Landon. We're your friends. You can't case the joint." It's like rhododendron, dandelion, marzipan, brown-eyed Susan. I'm definitely going to hone in on her. Okay, this is Ding Dong Ding-a-ling. Master of Love. The land of Landon's friends. Here I am, everyone. Hi. Oh, hey, Landon. Oh, hey, I remember you. Yeah, been a long haul out there, being all friendless and stuff. Hey, let's have a party tonight, and no one shows up. What do you say? I'm just going to make a fire by myself and beat off under the stars. And they'll have little side conversations that'll be filmed on TV, and it'll be like, he's just so used to being by himself. Just give him some time. There'll be like an old, wise one, and then a young one that's like, I don't want to give him time, Grandpa. I want to hop on him right now and let him know how much I care. Oh, I don't think that'd be right, Missy. He might misinterpret your intentions. As far as I can tell from his dossier, he's made about 10,000 videos about hating how sexually aggressive white women are, so I think I'd leave it alone for tonight. But he's not leaving himself alone. We can all see that. Yes, well, one day we'll get together and watch the video and all laugh. Meanwhile, Missy, there's a fence post out there. I just put a fresh coat of paint on it, but perhaps that would be of service to you. Thanks, Grandpa. Chicks with dicks. The story of Genesis. You see, the real Genesis was giant alien Amazonian chicks with dicks, and nobody wants to face the truth. And they were just spreading their sperm everywhere, you know? And they made little creatures called men, jack them off. That's how you get the word Jack the Ripper. He was just a big old jag-off. Jerk off, jagging off. I wish people think I'm important. People think I'm important. go into the woods today. Tempted to go to the Back 40 Grill and get something, but it's just, I don't know, it feels weird. I feel like it repels me somehow. Been a good day. I've lessened someplace I can go lay down and work on the rest of my headache a little bit. Therapeutic place in the forest. Had it trespassed upon, actually, strangely enough. But it's nice. I feel good. I feel it in my ass. I feel it in my sphincter. Should be safe. Yesterday I went by and I thought, no, not today. It was weird, but I have enemies in this neighborhood. Not many, and I've set my boundaries. It took a year and a half. Well, what fun is it being a witch if you can't set your boundaries with strange people? It's a strange time. Probably have a little crap while I'm in there. Yeah, I had some interesting experiences that are so weirdly dark, and when people are threatening you and you feel threatened, then your feeling threatened doesn't make for a great story. It's like, here's a story where I felt threatened. Here's a story where I felt really threatened for days on end. And I felt a little more threatened here, and this is where I felt threatened here, and this is what happened. And I felt threatened then, and I felt threatened for days or weeks afterwards. And there were threats over here and threatening. And it's just like a lot of being threatened, really, for a year and a half. And you live with it. And in other instances as well, I would say, these are stories. And whenever I'm being threatened on any level, right, and you're clear enough within yourself to know, like, you're not normally threatened by people, really. You're only threatened by certain kinds of people, and you know what kind of people you are. And it's like, and you're the kind of person that can kind of stick with it and get a lot of that sort of, what some people would say, circumstantial evidence, and show patterns of behavior and why someone like you could feel threatened. So someone could go, oh, right, okay, why did you do that? And you could still wonder, like, why not just go walk somewhere else? Well, I mean, it's like, why don't you go live somewhere else? When your child is bullied for the first time at school, are you going to put him in another school? And you know what you'll find is the reason your child's getting bullied is because you are bullying them. And no one's going to tell you that. That's a fact. It's like a medical fact. If your children are getting bullied, it's because you're bullying them. That's why. Unfortunately, human animals are a lot like other animals in that they smell weakness in other children. And some of those children, maybe they're going to be alphas and maybe they're fucked up and maybe they're really bullies, but they smell weakness. They smell something fucked up, but they don't have the ability to really be compassionate about it. So, when people are bullied, you should look to what's going on in the home that's bringing weakness. That bully could be your best friend. What if that child ends up getting cancer or leukemia? If any child be bullied, let the entire family be analyzed. And then look at how we can improve the world. We could learn from our children. It's like, what am I going to tell my son? You go back there and you punch him. You punch him real good, okay? Punch him real good. Right in the jaw. Right in the nose. Then kick him in the balls. And then spit on his face and then kill his entire family. It's like, just like the mafia. Here, I'll help you. Look, they're only just a bunch of children. Anyway, let's do it. Oh, you should never have children, Landon. You are too sadistic. I'm just too dark, not sadistic. There's a difference. The poets are dark. Sadists are not poets. Well, actually, they're probably good. I let the goldfish lay there, its tail flailing in the air. I decided as its god that it was time for it to pass into the other world. The other fish watched, mesmerized at my stoic ambivalence to their fate. And then some people just feel too much. Have you ever felt too much? So, honesty. People, I don't want to be rude, but people in pain want their pain to go away. Right? This is where I used to sit all the time. Nice. I get the impression hardly anyone comes in here at all. I think they're scared of coming in here. I think they think I'm in here all the time. My spirit lives in here now. Yes. Cool. We're almost home. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah. I think it's a good time to have a little food. Oh. Yes, right. You try. You always try. It's like I'm at Bible camp every day of my life now. I became a weirdo. Making strange faces through the fogged up glass of the industrial economic system. Landon was here. Um, I was so insulted and I was so shocked by the transgression which I felt and observed in a health food store where I was sexually harassed that I actually got the owner to make sure that none of the employees I'd ever met there in 12 years ever approached me ever again. That's everyone in both stores. The reason, in fact, if you want to know why this happened, it's quite complex, but one of the most interesting strands is that the manager, who's about my age, out of shape dude, was probably whacking off to one of the employees in particular, a young woman whom he'd taken a shine to, and who was quite fond of me, probably a little bit in love with me. That's basically why. And thankfully, I also got her to quit quite shortly after this happened. And I think, more than anything, this guy has only ever worked as a manager. He's working around this pretty girl. She's good at her job. Someone who could probably manage the store one day. And I'm sure this was the closest thing to being near a woman he really liked that much he'd ever been. I have to sympathize with the guy. But he became territorial. You know? These feelings were so hidden, so beset with stress, and me such an unworthy candidate for her affection. It must have just driven him wild. In short, it was because him and 3 other female employees were jealous of me for various reasons. And a woman who didn't even work there, who had once wanted my affection also. It was a perfect storm. And I got several people fired. And I made sure that that woman would never bother me again. Yeah, it took a year or so. But I mean, people take time. It took me just over a year to basically prosecute the situation in a satanic way. Another year for recovery. I don't think about it anymore, but there was more than a year where I would think about it every day. It was more than a year when this male faggot dude thought about me every day. I could feel his energy in my ethereal field. It's disgusting. I like sitting here. I thought I'd be colder, but it's not too bad. It's kind of protected. It's nice, you know? It's beautiful. Thank you, nature. Some beautiful shapes, spaces, air. I'll take it. There's something heavenly about this earth, and it's like I need a new religion. One where you don't ever die. And you only get to feel good all the time. Do you know what I Pretend you're on a class field trip. And you'd have to like write something like, what was something new you learned about the forest? Well, not every tree is the same. Sometimes they lay down. They have lots of leaves, but they all disappear every year. You don't need to rake them. I saw someone raking leaves again the other day. What are you doing? It's neat how private this place can be. I'm gonna leave some peanut butter bread for these squirrels. I haven't done that in months. So. It was good I stopped because I was, using a loaf of gluten-free bread every week. I don't get as lonely out here as I do when I'm out the other way. I'll do a little massage and then sometimes leaves want to come home with me. Hey, don't you? There's a lot of different experiences to be had out here. There's a bee. Hey! Hey! Wow. And it came from the direction where I felt in my right side of my eye here, coming just a minute before. Whoa. Nice. Wish you well. Pleased to meet you too. I don't know if anyone heard or not, but I do a kind of special physiotherapy for myself that just involves putting a stick or a piece of driftwood or a stone under my ass on either side and then just finding the stress points. And, I did. I think that usually helps a bit with any headaches I might have. It's pretty hate to go to the other end of the body, but it's just, I walk a lot. In fact, haven't had to do that for a long time, but it was actually quite stressful on the left side and the right. A little more on the left. I was like, oh, okay. You just breathe and I've been here in so long. Thank you. That's the second time in 2 days I've seen an upside down number 4, which is kind of like an upside down triangle. And, interesting. Like another letter. I have to write it down when I get home. Hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey. Yeah, so for over a year in this place, I had to wonder about running into one or more white females who had very malicious interests toward me based on fear and a combination of fear and being deprived of meat, which is me. And it's unfortunately, women like this just don't know their own minds. They don't know how to. And I have a strange sort of way of coming at people the wrong way, I guess. Or they towards me. And I'm kind of the kind of person that's like, if something is stressful enough, under any circumstances, right, for any reason, even if it doesn't seem normal, like, I would never want to be with a woman who went like, who dismissed my instincts about people. It's like, I don't care how sensible they seem. It's like, if I feel something's wrong, it's wrong. Or maybe if it's not wrong, like, it's better off just, giving it some time. But I mean, it's like, yeah, people come at things the wrong way. Like, if I put it more specifically, it wouldn't sound very credible probably. But you just feel it out here. You feel when someone's coming at you, pretty much. You don't have to know everything. You just know, how you feel. Right? All you have to do is know how you feel. If I met a female, I would have to be able to give her a life that she deserves based on, all the life she's had before. In the best sense. I'm not sure if I have that to offer. Anyway. Anyway. It's a nice thought though, isn't it? If I make my way home. Yeah, my feet don't hurt too much because I haven't walked that much today. So it's kind of a nice half day. Got a few things done. Got some shoes for when the rains come in. I'm not sure how well they're going to do, but apparently they're waterproof, so it's like, we'll give it a shot. We might have to go for the boots afterwards, but I'm going to make them work. Huh? Heard a sound down there. Hey. You know, you don't always have to look directly at trees. You can just kind of like, hello. Walk along the river today, ponder my thoughts by my lonesome. I don't have a girl, I don't know what to say. Maybe it's 'cause I'm just a total knob. The hairy palms of the tiger are what really count. Do, do, do. I'm tired. Yeah, that's a thing I don't really like to get into too much. But I think sometimes I need to, though. I don't think my dad really liked me very much. It's when they don't tell you, right? It wouldn't be a big deal, I suppose, if my dad didn't have a very aggressive and overbearing attitude to certain things. He never really talked to me like a person. He would just sort of talk at me or play word games or just real trouble. I think, he distrusted me. Didn't want to share things with me. Didn't want to level with me. That's scary when a man can't level with his own son. And I've looked at things, I got to know one parent really well, my mom, as much as you can, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, well, even as a poet and novelist, philosopher, amateur, but, I don't know how to put it all into words. I'm not sure if I don't just want to take my mom away from this world and say, this world wasn't worthy of her, and just leave it at that. That our spirits introduced as children don't get to stay ourselves. Don't get to live according to our nature. And this creates the many realms or the many hells of the world. We become hell-oriented beings. We live among the fountainhead of all the future generations to come. We live in a time of origins. And every age we live at a time of origins. And it's not that it's something that you're bound to squander. But it's something you have to wander around to find. Hell is just the root of a tree. It's tried by the many currents of water and celestial energy made flesh. Sound. Sound is like our spirit. It's a natural inhabitant of the ethers. It's always part of how they become flesh. Just like you can't build a building without thinking, you can't have creation without sound. And without a natural, everlasting habitat for that sound to carry forth its everlasting impressions of the spirit of its birth. And each sound joins with each sound. And creation is sound forth, everlasting to everlasting. So saith the Solomon. bear. But it would be exciting. I've got a little walking stick I picked up. Thought I'd take something from that place. Oh, I've been there for a long time. I left some peanut butter bread for the squirrels. They were getting pretty aggressive with getting that peanut butter bread. It was a good thing I've left it for a couple months, basically this summer and continuing, because there's a lot going on. Being back there today, like, the nature of the trees must have been sniffing me, going, wow, you've been around. Yeah, I had a few lifetimes worth of experience since I was there last. Now things have settled down. I mean, this is what I work for. Today, things have settled down. Come home, things have settled down. I feel everything. Let's go home, settled. There's a person, settled. Hey yo, hey ya, hey ya, hey yo, hey ya. Listen to those birds. Hey yo, hey ya, 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 hey yo, hey ya. Hey yo, hey hey ya, 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 oh hey yo, hey hey ya. Well, I got Solilo for the day, so that's good. It's a good rune. Solilo. I remember the one I pulled out of the bag. What was that one? What did I pull out of the bag today? That is the question. La 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 la, la 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 la. Ooh, broke. La la la. Ooh, there was like a thunder. I broke the stick. La 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 la. Here we go. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, let's see if the circle's still there. La 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 la. Oh la 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 la. Oh la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, yeah, I think it is. Is that it over there? I do not know. Oh, is that it over there? I don't know. So if I went over there, I would get a bit of a culture shock. A lot of water. Whoop. Hey ya, oh ho, hey ya 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 ya, hey ya, hey ya 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 ya. If hey, don't you recall? My mother is healthy. My father is healthy as far as I know. Yeah, he just. My dad didn't need much to do with me. He knew my mom had basically her claims upon my affections. He must have known that all too well. My mom didn't honor my dad. My dad didn't honor my mom. The relationship was born in sublimated mutual hate for the opposite sex. My dad's mom had been a fairly castrating authoritarian influence in his life, who had gone to the most wonderful lengths that every hardworking Cockney mother had ever gone for her children. I never met her. He didn't speak much about her except to say that she brought him tea and toast when he was sick. And that was like, I think the most poignant thing about my dad's emotions he would ever share is that his mom brought him tea and toast when he was sick, and that he got his dad a new set of pajamas. My dad always wore pajamas to bed when he was laying in hospital, preparing to leave this world of pain. And nobody showed up to his funeral, except maybe my dad. They were embarrassed or shamed or just had no use for him. No connection. I guess he hadn't been worth their thanks in the end, their respect, their... Under those conditions, you could scarcely say that my grandfather had not succumbed to the hatred of his own family. And now most of my family, my siblings, don't really talk much to my dad, or at least myself the least. And but thankfully my dad is protected of such things, and I wish him more well than anything now. I want him to have the best. I just want it to be over, I can't interact with him, but I would love for him to have everything that I could offer, I think he deserves that, but I deserved, to have a father who cared about me, and I didn't get that, unfortunately. I am capable of understanding some of the reasons, social and economic, but I'm not going to cover up my feelings and my needs, I needed a father, and I didn't have one. I didn't have one so much, I don't think I ever really felt how much I needed one. In fact, my father helped me get used to not having a father by being a father that wasn't my father. I got used to not having the thing you almost need the most in this world, which is a father. And I guess that's what he got to. And when families just have that in the patrilineal sort of line, it's anyone's guess how that's going to feel. I'm a fearful person, probably, in my dad's eyes. If I had the strength and courage of him or my uncles, I probably would have a much easier life. They'd be like, being out here wouldn't be a challenge. I mean, part of what lives is the fact that, I can be preyed upon, unfortunately. Forms the better part of the reason I make videos in the first place. Basically, it records various forms of harassment. Hello. Ducks. I understand in some, if not all, situations that all you have to do is be a single white male in the right place at the right time, and there are people who will harm you, but I see a deeper level of intelligence to it. Yeah, for the most part. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, so my dad just sort of ran himself out of my life. Just couldn't be honest with me, couldn't be straight with me about anything, and was never going to. At best, he had trained himself to treat me as nothing more than a socially defected, semi-retarded, homosexual or something. I mean, I think that's pretty much how my dad thinks of me. He doesn't expect anything from me in life in any way whatsoever, and doesn't care about anything I have done at all. He just didn't have that in him. Didn't have that for any of his children, I don't think, really. And it is, I'm better prepared to say now, a lot to ask. And so, you guys, hi. Hello. And probably a lot to ask. In my dad's way, it would have been, you grow up, have fun, you go to school, 16, 17, you start finding work, you go out, you have friends, you party, you work, you get your own place, you get yourself whatever training you need, and you go out in the world and you make some money and you go off your life. There wasn't really anything else on my dad's plate. That's just something that you did. If you didn't do that, you're retarded. It wasn't that he had any particular input in that. He went to work, he came home, made dinner, sat in the chair, watched TV, went to bed, did some paperwork and went to bed. That was what being dad was. It was just making dinner. He never told me to clean my room, never told me to do anything, never showed me anything, never asked me how we felt, never talked to me, never did anything with us. I think even as children we were somewhat aware that my dad, we got fishing rods. He would never take us fishing anywhere. He did take us in his sailboat. He would do things that he wanted to do, which was fair enough, I think the most activity I had with my dad that involved was probably his sailboat. He liked sailing, this sort of two-man sailboat. So I don't think that my father was into hating me or anything. I don't think that was the plan. I just think if you didn't respond well to this Raise Yourself program, which is the one he had, I guess, lived by, then, tough luck. There must be something wrong with you. It wasn't that there was just so much grief and so much sadness in the provenance of his strategy for life that you might be able to pick it up. And if you did, it would seem pretty obvious. If you that was a good white people moment. It's I've been using that trail and there were some white women that just stopped the trail. The last time I was here, there were some white women filling up the entire trail. So there was this deer trail and I just took it that was where I was planning to go. It's do. And you just walk away from them. It's so easy. You don't have to make eye contact. It's just they're just going to stand there. They're not going to move over for me. They basically commandeered the opening to that trail. I don't even take it personally. It's just how white women are. They just take the space. Right? It's more fun if you could just look at it like how animals behave. Then white women make it so easy to criticize them. Most of what I know about women, just like what I know about the police, is what they've told me. I'm just a good listener. And when you look at what people like the police or women, it's a very similar kind of institution, tell you, it's, if you really listen to what they're telling you, it's like, oh, okay. I mean, it's like I really respect that sort of cloud of enormous intelligence, bravery, and the necessity to commit what lesser beings might consider sadistic acts of cruelty upon totally vulnerable men and boys. But, I'm sorry, but I'm inferior to you, so I don't fully understand what you're telling me. So, and that's it. That's my relationship to authority and women and their men. But to find like an independent woman or an independent man, someone who's their own person. But yeah, these sort of average psychopaths, we need them. They're good. They make Canada strong. I'm sure they're not bad people, but I don't want to get to know them. They're probably not people who are here a lot. Oh, there's some deer. Nice. Hi. It was like I was gonna go sit over there and I just saw 2 deer popping out. I was like, I haven't seen a deer for a while. Nice. There's somewhere I can sit down here. I'm just away from their vicinity. I'm just standing there. That's cool. Hi. Is there one over here? Maybe there's some nearby. The spirit is very strong. Maybe that's actually wood. They haven't moved for a while. It could be wood. Do you think that's wood? Do you think I'm waving at wood? What if someone's watching and is like, what's that guy waving at? He's like, I see dead people. I see deer. No, it's a deer. They're just being very still. Maybe they think I'm a hunter. I've got this stick in my arm. No, it's okay. It's just a stick. It's just a stick. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so cool. I don't know if they're doing or not, but they're right near this place I used to sit all the time. So cool. See if there's any others. What a neat spot. I wasn't going to sit there today, but it's nice to know that I could. I took a little deer poop in those woods. That was nice. Yeah, I like to evacuate. If those deer or that as they are wood, and I see them next time, that's going to be so cool. It's like, wow, man, that wood looks just like a couple of deer. That is incredible. Oh, did they move? Please move. And I know you're deer. Please move. I'm waving at nothing at all. Well, the only really way is to walk over there, and then I would disturb them, so I don't want to. If it, hey, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think he moved. Finally. That's so cool. I think they have really good sight too. And deer meat is related to the liver, and I was telling my mom, like, a strong liver. Oh, there's a beautiful bird. His wings are the color of his leaves. The liver's related to your eyesight. I feel like sometimes my eyesight gets a little weaker than others. It's like, deer's like liver food. La 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 la. Boom boom around. Hickey Po hickey la, hickey licky licky la, licky la la licky. Hey licky licky la, hey licky licky, licky licky licky. Licking you from crevice to crack, singing like Jesus when he gets a little back. I wanna lick your pussy from the crevice to the crack, and sing like Jesus when he gets a little back. That's a funny song that I made up in my mind. I hope you will be so kind. Interesting. Ground cover here. Whew. Lots of really interesting plants. Could get very wet here. So I imagine that figures in the types of plants make it through how many winters, eh? This grass is so hard. You walk on it all the time. It's like this grass lives forever, man. The grass is everlasting. The everlasting grass, really is pretty amazing stuff. Now I can go in here. Oh, look at these birdies. And go sit and probably get reasonably cold, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go home, get into a hot bath. Look at those birds, though. I don't want to overdo it. A slow day and a cold day, so. Yeah, nice though. I would go back if I thought I had another bowel movement brewing, which feels like maybe it wants to. It's nice out. Yeah, it's always nice when the last time I was here, there was a bunch of white women talking in the trail, and I was just like, if I was going to move on, I would have to scoot by them, and it would have been uncomfortable. Like, it was a bottleneck. So I walked basically a half hour or more out of my way. Like 40 minutes out of my way because I couldn't walk through there. I could have gone through the grasses here, but it's very uncertain with a lot of water hazards. And in the summer I walked through there because I had to. It was full of mosquitoes and I didn't get bit once. It's like mosquitoes are... Yeah, my stomach is rumbling a little bit. Let's see if I can get home. Well, that's good. Decision. That is your decision. I met a really nice hummingbird once here. I learned to bow my head and picture the sun behind them. Kind of like a way of greeting animals. Just more like focusing my mind out of the sort of apathy that can collect walking day to day. To see things with a new mystery, Just to bow your head, not to pray to some god, just to brighten your mind to embrace some new mystery, Picture the sun, picture a tiger, picture an animal, because all beasts are of the medicine of the sun, and we join them in that way. The sun joins us in our medicines and powers, and the sun joins with the many trees and their roots and their leaves. So when you look into this pool with these leaves, and I see a little bit of an owl figure forming in the water juices. Water juices. There's an old bottle of milk somewhere left there. Little reflections. Ponds are nice. The stuff and stones of the earth. Wonderful medicines, powers, eh? Sometimes you have to be on psilocybin at night. I wish there was no people here, and it was like 15 degrees warmer, and I could take a bunch of psilocybin and run around naked at night. And there was like stations with water and tea and coffee. But you really don't need a lot of that shit once the psilocybin kicks in. And, yeah. Oh. Evil out there. There you go. Yeah, so I guess there were some people jammed in here. day I'll confirm to my mom probably that she doesn't live there anymore, and then I'll start walking by her again because it's been months. She's starting to be violent with me, just walking by her home. Anyway, that time is over, so I don't walk that way anymore. And I avoid people if I can. Yeah, so I think the sort of physio that I gave myself really helped. This is a nice area. So yeah, you have these awful people situations, but I knew, like, I put a curse on her. I knew, like, in some amount of time that she would leave. She wouldn't live there anymore. I mean, it's just, garbage takes itself out. And I'll be able to walk by there again one day, not for a while. And it keeps me out of that lane, but yeah. Part of that's out of respect for her too. Is like, we had a real conflict of interest, so I'm not going to walk by her house every day. And that's fine. And then there's peace. So people, when women see me on any kind of regular basis, they can get a little enamored for some reason. And, I am not the master of how that happens. And I've been lonely. I've never had a girlfriend. And this does not really contribute to my life. Like, their energy toward me does not contribute to my life in any way. If anything, I find it humiliating, degrading, aggressive, and extremely unlawful in my way of being. I don't do that to women, but they do it to me. Women basically stalk me and stuff, and yeah, it's all right, I guess. They gotta do what they gotta do. I'm trying to be more positive about things. I just gotta try to be clear of my boundaries most of the time. I've worked at it. People see me as fresh meat. Women do. They want to come in close, quickly. I recognize the pattern. There's some women, I could tell you different stories. It's always quick. They want to know you quick. They want to get closer, quicker. The quicker the better. They want to maintain that closeness. They want to keep it up. They want to use your name every time they see you. They want to hug you. They want to, they prize you for some reason. But it's for none of the good reasons. Right? None. And you're like a pet to them. And what you get in return is you get to see that they're not real people. They're not even real people. Like, they're not even living in a dimension that, even to me, has anything to do with reality. I mean, there are good reasons why I can't recommend myself to a female, right? But these people really think that they can. They don't even know what they want. They want sex. They want a man. You can hear their endless stories about how they haven't had any luck at love because men are too intellectual. It's like, no, it's because you're a psycho. I mean, whatever guy you're with, you have to solve that issue first, because they don't care about men any more than I guess those care about men. They just don't have they've never gotten to know anybody. Certainly not a man. So, and that's fair enough in its own right, but they start deluding themselves. That's how they become cougars. So I should start. I'm getting close to home. Yeah, so a nice safe walk. There was a few times doing that very section right there where I felt a lot of anxiety because of that lady. Her energy was pretty violent. once I aroused her anger, poked her, you could say, you could see like she was overcome with rage. And it's like, okay, wow, we see what's in you then, don't we? And sometimes that's it. That's the core of a lot of female behavior, rage. You know, I'm not saying that to minimize it. I'm just that's where it comes from. But and then there's got to be fear, and all kinds of things. It's like, imagine what happened if you took a royal actor on the stage of history, ripped Hitler's mask off, and you saw Bing Crosby. Right? How angry would you feel? How angry would they feel? Humiliated in public, in their grand legerdemain. You'd be annihilated. You'd be killed that night by some local mafia. And I assure you, royal families control various regions of the earth. So chances are your local politicians are probably connected to royalty in some way, even down to the mayor of your town or the police chief. A lot of local nature trusts, things like that. Masons, these types of people, a lot of them are or will appear transsexual. Not always, but it's part of their religion. It's not because they're really transsexual. Just they're consummate actors. The idea of being someone else is part of their religion. So the Masons know there's only two genders, so when they play the opposite gender, they're controlling both in the way they control the world. This thing's still on, eh? Nice tree. Hey. Wow. Hey ya, hey, ooh ah ooh, wahoo, hey ya, ooh ah ooh, hey ya, ooh ah ooh, wahoo, hey, ooh ah ooh, ah hey, ooh ah ooh, wahoo, hey, ooh ah ooh, wahoo, hey, ooh ah ooh. Wahoo, guy in van. Guy in van. I know a guy lives in his van every day. Spends most of his day in his van every day. He's done some healing in there. Well, I've had a pretty good walk. Some food, good. 3 craps today. Rings my bell pretty good. I think that was a nice song to that tree. I like that. It's like singing to the tree. I like singing with trees. I noticed like 3 times in the last week I just wanted to make sounds around a tree and just honor the sanctity of the space that I share with them or want to. Take a moment in life. My fears have been all-absorbing for a lot of time, of one kind or another, and I've had lots of them outside my home and inside my home. And it's like I have to settle myself down. I have to ground. And my mom's being helpful because I've kind of, in a nice sense, trained her, telling her like, hey, I'm positive. I'm about positive things. I want to stay positive. I think everything's pretty positive. So she's sort of on board with that. They actually walloped one tree in order to make this park here. Just like this one. It's like you, isn't it? Yeah. And I like to believe the spirit lives on. Hey? Very strong trees, very strong, very wonderful, strong spirits. I didn't like it when they took that tree down, and the day that I came here and saw the result, this sociopath who lives in his car walked up beside me and said, you know what I say? I said, what's that? He's like, can't do anything about the past. No point in worrying about it. In this sort of weird, cold way, he's like, he wanted to acknowledge the change in the life. And he likes trees. He waters them and things like that. And it's just like, that's one way of grieving. And from that point on, he started to become more familiar with me. He just walked up behind me. It's like, that's what I mean. They just kind of walk into your life sometimes. I try to avoid him. Yeah. Sometimes I actually enjoy his company, and at times I've even missed it. But unfortunately, the overall effect is not pleasant. That's what I would tell him. You got to work on your bedside manner. I hate when people talk to me like they need to help me with my problems. Especially when they're living in a car. It's like, you're going to help me with my problems. Right. It's not like they don't have useful things to say, but if people want to start pointing their finger at you and talking about, you and your father, or you and your mother, or my God, when you could never do the same to them, because they've got these perfect little cover stories about the amazing and heroic way they made things right with their mother and father, and how wonderful everything is, And now it's no one's fault in particular, and they've just gone fully stoic, and now dispensing their great stoicism upon others as wisdom. I just think, somehow I think the sounds I like to make with trees are related to the whales. It's a very beautiful log. Look what I found kicking up in the tide. Hey, look what I found kicking up in the tide. Look what I found kicking up in the tide. Look what I found kicking up in the tide. Oh, look what I found kicking up in the tide. Look what I found kicking up in the tide. La da dee dee. Da dee dee dee. Da da dee 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 dee. La da dee 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 dee. La da dee 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 dee. La da dee dee dee. La da dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. La da dee dee dee. La da dee dee dee. La da dee dee dee. We're on a sacred path. Come on. Every stone is sacred. Every rhythm, every sound. The sound of roundup. The sound of the completion of the finest religion the heavens needs. Oh, look at all these mushrooms. Wow. Nice. That's awesome. Wow. I had no idea. Incredible, incredible. Everywhere. Mushrooms. Right at my back door. That is a most smiling rocks. Smiling trees. It's like with everything I think and do, at the very least I'm building a bridge between one eminently sacred level of creation and another. Hello. Landon's home.
Take your hat.
I'm taking off my hat. Jack would not wear this hat. I don't think Jack would approve it either. Or anyone on basically the cast of the show.
Maybe not.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. How was everyone?
Good.
Oh, that's good. Oh.
We're good, right, buddy? He's just had his walk. He's had his dinner. We both slept till after screen.
Oh, lovely.
I woke up and I didn't know if he had his breakfast yet. I just woke up in a panic. I thought, oh my God, it's 3 o'clock. Is he not looking up today? I forgot everything. Then I remembered we went shopping, so I had to work out.
Oh, you brought the shoes up, thanks.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a chance to try them.
Yeah. You should try them on, wear them for a while.
Yeah. I know they're the right size. The lady was really, the girl I like, she was really helpful.
Yeah.
You know, first I said size 10, which is basically just a Blundstone.
Yeah, yeah.
11, and then I got 11 and a half, and she said, we'll see if I can find one, and she did. It was like, nice.
Yeah, it's funny, different makes you have different sizes.
Well, they don't have that many shoes, so they must have a lot of, and they don't do a lot of sales, I don't think, so. No, I'm not that I wish that they don't, it's just, it's not a very busy mall. So,
No, it's not.
you get a lot of personal attention doing that.
Yeah, whatever we watched yesterday, when did Ty and Amy start getting along again?
Remember, I think after Jack forces him to make a decision, he comes home from the puppy place in the next town.
Oh, yeah.
And he drives in later that day, having made his decision. After he makes that phone call and says, I've made my decision whether or not to take the job. And
Yeah.
once he has a chance in a new life, that's all he needs. He needs to know that he could actually, I mean, think about it. He's got to be feeling pretty good about himself. He can drive into a new town with a sack full of puppies, save 2 of their 3 lives, and get a job in a vet. I mean, not bad for the first place you drive into, right? He's got to be feeling pretty good about himself.
Yeah.
I don't think he even really tells them where he was.
No, I don't think he does.
In that sense, in that secrecy, in a way, maybe there's like something interesting in there.
Yeah. Well, that was his time to make decisions and sort of figure out what he wanted. And I guess it's something you necessarily share with somebody.
He could have said to Jack, hey Jack, you know, I went to the next town, I got a job, I could have stayed if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I came back to you. Tired. I was tired today, but eventually got going. See a fair share of people out there. Yeah. What did I say? Butterfly and I noticed a bunch of mushrooms growing down by the back door. Like hundreds of them down there. Yeah. Pretty cool.
They like that spot.
Yeah, mushrooms have their spots. You can tell that something living, they're very picky. Like they found the right conditions to form. You know? It's a combination of lots of different things.
Yeah, I guess so.
Take these pants off. That's another milestone in my day is getting these on. Oh, there we go. Now Daddy's better. Okay. Put those there. I'm gonna lie down for a second. Oh, Lord Almighty. Oh. So that means I managed to put in about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought it would be about 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's about half a day for me. It still feels like a lot. I was tired today. But I'll go back out to Martindale tomorrow, I think. I think go check things out. Things are pretty mellow out there. Once I have like a week or a period of time where like nobody really bothers me, I start to settle down.
Yeah.
You know, Like I don't go into details, but I had someone come up to me and solicit me one day, just doing their thing. Like Bruce, how he used to like assert all his healing stuff. Yeah, someone like that. It wasn't the worst thing, but it's like, oh, it's cool that I've met so many people like this that I can be polite, but I can take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
It's like talking to a JW in a way, and it is nice in a way that people are so religious that they feel they need to, that's cool. I'm just not in that place. I couldn't go up to someone and
No.
talk like that. But I'm trying to be. Can you tell I'm trying to be really positive about everything? Look at that. It's October 14th. That is a great day. I've always liked October 14th. Isn't it? Isn't that nice? 42 is bat medicine, and 24 is crow. I learned that.
Oh.
42 is bat medicine, and 24 is crow medicine, and they're both black. Yeah, 42 is bat medicine, 24. I don't know if she just numbered them arbitrarily, but in that book, that's the numbers they have.
Oh.
So I'm trying to learn it, right? It's like, for some reason, I just like 24, 42 is bat and a crow, and they're pretty interesting combination of medicine, really. It's like, oh, look at that.
What is that white thing?
What?
Oh, you see the white thing in amongst the gold? What is that?
On the top right?
No, in the middle.
Oh, that's a lake or something. It's water.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that. It looked like a big hand coming up here.
Yeah, it does look a bit like that.
Yeah. Once you
It's
see
just
this
a
one
bad.
thing,
It's bad resolution.
Yeah.
The angle they want. That's crepuscular rays, by the way, and that shows you that the sun is only 50 miles away.
Oh.
That's kind of crepuscular rays too. Shows
That's
you.
lavender, isn't it?
Look at the angles in some of those shadows.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That could be lavender. Yeah, that's pretty, eh?
It is pretty. Yeah.
Grass is so robust. Trees are so robust. That's everything eternal right there.
Yeah.
Grass, sun, and trees. That's perfect. At 4:25, it all made sense.
Yeah.
Write that down, Mom. Write that down.
Finally.
I'm not quite sure what it meant, but I know it all made sense. That's kind of like what trips on acid and psilocybin. It's like, it all made sense, but I can't remember why.
Yeah.
Not really, but... Oh. Well, I guess I should run a bath. The sooner I get in there, the better. Oh, God, I hope I don't fall asleep in it.
There must be something in the air in this apartment, but I've just fallen asleep.
Oh, yeah, today's sleepy.
Just, I did wake up a bit. No, I see you. I know you're there.
Oh, I never did find a place to throw that bottle in. There's very few garbage cans out there. Well, in the park there is.
Hey, you won't find them up in the woods because he's gonna pick them up, right?
Right. Well, they used to have more around Rathtrevor, but I guess they've dispensed with that frivolity. Why have garbage cans everywhere? That would just encourage people to throw their garbage out. And what will that lead to? Cleaner world. Oh.
Oh, they used to have lots of double garbage cans everywhere, but there
Yeah.
were just almost too many.
Oh, you got one of those cheesy things.
Yeah,
What are they like?
they're not bad.
Can I try one?
Yeah.
Do you have crackers?
I got this for Buddy, so don't go eat them all.
You got them for Buddy?
Well, that's for his medication. I'm sick of giving him peanut butter. It's too much peanut butter. So
Well, I haven't had them for so long. I gotta see what these things
yeah,
taste like.
they're good. It's like Edam cheese. That's what it is.
This one's red. Is that just a...
You take it's just a wrapper. It's like a candy wrapper. Oh, okay. And then just see if you can figure out how to open it.
There we go.
Did you find the tab?
Yeah, got it.
Oh. Yeah. I thought it was fun opening it.
Oh, interesting. Kind of poignant.
I guess so, yeah. It's not
Without being overbearing.
not like a good cheddar, for sure. But, yeah. Oh, you are just a impossible. You're impossible. Impossible. You're impossible. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yeah, it's really good.
I almost bought cheese today, but I just want a little piece of cheese. You can't just buy a little piece. I understand. Not in Turkey. They don't do that.
Oh, it's pretty good. If you go on YouTube, you can see professional people with these huge things of Parmesan cheese. They're huge, and you have to crack them open. And there's a way of cutting them so they break in half. And you break the half in half, and then you break it down. You can watch people come and watch them.
It's huge. There's lots of cheese. That's a lot of cheese. Oh, that's pretty. Hey, don't you use that for all of this?
Yeah, that Thai food, it kept me today quite well. So I'm going to say 2 thumbs up to them.
Well, spices keep you warm.
Oh,
They keep
you
you
want to
warm.
watch it or?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, if you stick around a few more weeks, you might actually see this grandchild of yours arrive. And Janice may have some quite important news for me, but
Well, Janice isn't pulling any strings.
so I wish she's in California. She lives in the ranch.
No, she's racing.
Love you? She's not.
Stephanie, I told your grandfather plans to be put on hold. Any plans I've ever made.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Where's Peter?
He's yapping.
Napping? I'm the one who's coming. I should
There's a gas leak with her. You look great, honey.
I had a bad morning. I spilled pomegranate juice all over myself. And I left the keys in the truck with the truck open. And kind of thick on the steering wheel anymore. None of my clothes fit anymore and it looked ugly. Yes, they do. My back is killing me. My baby seems to want to push my ribs right out of my body. Oh, and the doctor said I have 2 or 3 weeks left. I only have 1 week left. I've had it. I can't even bend down to shave my legs. Oh my god, I'm crying again. Why am I crying?
Are you good?
Hey Tim, come and watch me. Amy's teaching me to ride, and even she says I'm doing great.
What do I know? I think you're doing good, not great.
Hey, what's this?
Whoa, girl, whoa.
Well, it's not bad. Can work on it a bit. It's pretty good for a beginner.
I'm not a beginner anymore. Well, maybe yesterday, but not today. So, you're an all-around cowboy. Can you give us some local lessons?
Yeah, maybe later. And Amy, you can stop staring at me like that. I'm not moving to California. I'm not moving anywhere.
Shit.
That's the theory. And what's that? My mom.
I think she has a thing for your dad. bit money left over sticking around.
So the application is in? Yep, I sent it in yesterday. You're doing good? I hope so. I'm really getting this game of long distance relationships can work. You know what they say about absence making the heart go fond? I don't know about that.
He lives a man of many devices and beguiling will to enjoy fertilizing young fertile.
I'm torn between listening to you singing and watching. I can't decide what to do.
Yeah. Come on, baby.
What makes you think that your mom went to the Well, you've been busy enough for one.
Like at the dinner?
Yeah. He and her mom spent hours fucking in cabin. I think they bond when I stay stuck.
Really?
Yeah. And, you know, if they get together, they have. I mean, I never actually hear it. Yeah.
So, you should all know, I quit my job at Nathan's. Ashley Gray fired me for a fiscal question, but long story short, I'm back.
We're glad you are.
But that's good news because I have a proposition. I propose that I come back to work at Heartland. I will deal with the horses and my chores. Plus, on top of that, I'll help play with the baby as well.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I love babies, and I know you guys don't want a full-time nanny. Or I know you guys can't afford a full-time nanny. So, I'm gonna pick your client.
Okay. I guess.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
I'm here this chance.
Oh God. Fuck. I'm not. Oh. You never get in as quickly as you want to. Fuck. Ugh. Now, got some tea tree. We got an important job to do. Oh, we gotta get that candle going again. Okay. We'll do. See how that goes. Okay. Please work. Oh shit. Ah, fuck. Fuck. Okay, we're in. We haven't done it for a while, but that's no cold water. That's pure hot water. Okay. And we don't even know if that fucking candle is gonna work. Okay. So we're not gonna hurry. I know how cold a day I had, so. Oh, yeah. Get the legs in. Oh, hey, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay. You see that candle working? You know, that's magic. That's pure magic. I'm doing magic every day. Okay. That's not even bad. That's like, okay. Let's try that again. I have lots to be thankful for. I made it home alive. Look at that candle going. Oh, okay, wait. Okay, good. Okay, good job. You know, it's weird because I didn't add any cold water, and this thing is like fucking perfect. Oh shit. Holy shit. And that's how you do it. That's how you get the cold out. I don't have to hurry. As long as I have certain parts of my body in hot water, my body will heat up. Put my feet in. Oh, Lord Almighty. Oh. Oh. It's not a very deep bath, but it's a very hot one. Oh. Well, we got it. We got this thing. And my body's like, even after 4 hours, it's like an ice cube, so. Oh, I like that. First medicine, and then you get a good first immersion, and then you get your second, and then you're home. Holy shit, that's hot. Oh, man. Oh, it's weird, Oh, it's being so hot and so cold at the same time. I did that physio on my butt, and my headache, sure enough, was reduced. We'll be getting the head in shortly. Once I know it's not going to be too much of a shock. Oh, my goodness. Well, but it's good to get the head in before you get too comfortable, because it really does a dramatic effect on your entire prognosis as a very cold person. Okay. Oh yeah. 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 Okay. We did good. Sure enough, by the time the head is in, that bath is. Oh man. Oh shit. Oh, that's good. And that's the way you do it. And you'll take another immersion, but still get a spirit. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, I feel days from my childhood. Oh man. Okay, so that's a lot of heat. Good job. We're getting the blue, indigo, purple spectrum out of the candle on the faucet. Let's do this thing. First relief. Okay, we want that hot water for later. Thank you. Good. bath that's been a little bit eroded in its ultimate ineffable heat. That's okay. We've got it hot. If not full, it's hot. Nice. It's very hot. Hot enough to burn my butt. Okay. Taking chances. Let's just get her done. Got the fan going. Okay. Oh yeah. Those legs are enjoying that. Oh yes. Oh yeah. And the thing is that you don't need that long on the second bath if it's hot enough. Even if it's like, actually the depth isn't too bad. The heat is right on though. Fuck. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't put any cold water into that baby. Oh yeah. When I get out of here, it's like a victory every day. Oh man. Nice. Okay. Good job. A lot of heat. We'll try to get the hit in quicker than not. I think we can do it. Fairly strong. We'll certainly sleep well tonight. Oh. Okay. Oh. Let's get that head in. Oh. Wow. Okay. All right. Good job. We are well on our way. I woke up a little unbalanced in the morning. I think my bath was hot enough, but it's a long 8 hours. So be mindful when I'm out there. Just how cold I'm getting. You gotta. Oh my Lord. I'm even gonna put my head on it one more time. It's a nice little gesture. Oh, I'm tired. Let's get out of here.
Baby's coming, guys. She needs to start pushing.
Regular